So the company that I decided to focus on is Physical Therapy Specialists of Idaho, also known as PTSI. And one of their drives, mission, and value statements is enhancing community health and mobility. So this is going to be a quick little introduction to PTSI as well as my personal experience with them. To your right, you can see this is going to be our owner, Corey Rasmussen. They are a locally owned clinic and located in Pocatello, Idaho, and they also have a clinic located in Chubbuck, both opened and operated by Corey Rasmussen. They focus on rehab and long-term wellness, as well as strong community ties and partnerships. Now, as far as why I decided to choose PTSI as the company I decided to focus on, was in 2022, in my sophomore year of track and field, I injured my hamstring. It was a pretty bad injury, and I had to do rehab for it. Through the school, they directed me to the clinic, PTSI, and I worked with Corey for about 2 to 3 months. And that time period, we worked on various exercises that strengthened my hamstring and got me feeling way better, back to normal. And I also made my season that year very, very successful. So obviously, I'm going to be very extremely biased towards PTSI because they helped me get to where I needed to be and get me healed and back to where I needed to be running at. So PTSI, they have mission and value statements as well as a purpose statement. So as you can see, their purpose statement is to improve lives through rehabilitation. Their mission statement is to be a premier rehabilitation clinic specializing in orthopedic injuries, and their vision statement is a sought-after clinic known for quality and character. So as far as their impact on the community, I can say it's very simple to say that their impact ranges far beyond just their immediate clients, as they've partnered with numerous companies across southeastern Idaho, so that way all of their patients will get streamlined into PTSI, so the ripple effect can just be noticed and felt all across southeastern Idaho. So as I said earlier, they have a very significant role in the local rehab, as well as they collaborate with local businesses, especially Idaho State University. And on that note, I can very confidently say that there have been a numerous amount of athletes that always get injured, because that's just the name of the game when you're playing sports, and they get streamlined into PTSI, and they're just, through rehab and processes, they're able to get back to where they need to be in no time, and they're able to compete at a high level back in their sport. As well as they have a positive reputation among athletes and community members. So as far as what services they offer a wide range of rehabilitation services, as well as manual therapy, dry needling, athlete rehab, and blood flow restriction therapy. Now, a little bit of information on what all of these will look like. As far as manual therapy, that'll just be mainly your massages or grasping, for example. So after you're done doing your workout sessions or your rehab sessions, at the end of them, one of the PT therapists, they'll grasp you, give you a nice little massage so you're feeling a lot better afterwards. Next, you have dry needling. This is one of my personal favorites. This is just, they'll put needles all around the area of infection, and then it'll just help release pressure, as well as it'll bring lots of blood into the area. Athlete rehab, now this can look like a various amount of things. Mainly, the PT specialist will just work with the athlete, and they'll conduct various exercises with them one-on-one to get them back to healthy. Lastly, blood flow restriction therapy. This one is actually by far my least favorite one, because this one hurts the most. They'll basically just add a strap around the muscle they're trying to restrict the blood flow, so that way when you do the exercises that target the muscle, it just makes that muscle have to work even harder. As far as their staff and culture, so they're a team of 16 full-time employees and interns. Now, as I said earlier, or as I said in my paper, there are about 12 full-time workers, and I think about 2 to 4 interns and part-time workers that Corey likes to keep on throughout the year. And with those intern and part-time workers, they have just a little bit of higher employee turnover, just because they're interns and part-time. So usually they're younger people who are just trying to get a feel for the physical therapy environment, so they're not there full-time. They haven't committed to a full-time job yet. So when I was talking to Corey, he emphasized heavily on the importance of character over knowledge in hiring. He mainly told me that he can find anybody who's graduated from ISU or any university with a physical therapy major and degree. But his thing that he focuses on is hiring over someone's character, because you can't teach those soft skills all the time. If someone is really smart and they're not very good with the patients, then that's going to be no good for him, since this is a very patient-dominated industry. You have to be able to build that connection with your patient in order to excel in that industry. Finally, they want to focus on high retention rates and employee satisfaction. As you guys know, PT therapists, they're also not super easy to come by in southeastern Idaho. So Corey said he likes to focus on making sure that the employees that he has are happy in their position and want to stay, so that way it can keep retention rates high and it won't allow him to continue looking for new employees and staff. We talked about, in my interview with Corey, differentiation. And this is a strategy that he's used and implemented way back in 2013 when he first opened his clinics, and a strategy that he's used since then, and he plans on continuing to use in the future. Since he joined the scene a little bit late in 2013, there were already established clinics across southeastern Idaho and Pocatello. So he knew he had to do something to make himself stand out in order to find and gather clients from existing clinics and bring them over to him. So a couple things that he did to look at as far as to help him differentiate himself from other clinics is look at the quality of service. Now, you can always go into a therapy clinic and get the service that you need, but it's the quality of service that really makes people want to come back for more. And Corey, he nailed that to a T. Staff education and training. He harps and emphasizes all of his employees to not only, once you stop at your schooling, just to do something further, get a certification, keep building on the knowledge that you've already had, so that way you can have more skills and more experience in that field. Finally, technology use and treatment. When I talked to Corey, he was very adamant that they're always trying to upgrade the technology that they have and always try to find something that can make themselves stand out and differentiate themselves from their competitors. Now, they most recently bought a Biotex machine. It's just a machine that wraps around your ankles. It just focuses on hamstring and quad dominated exercises. And it's just a rehab machine that helps people quickly heal up their legs, and usually those hamstring and quad focused injuries. Finally, they'd like to offer competitive pay to retain top talent. Now we're going to look at financial stability and growth. The importance of tracking revenue and patient volume is key. He told me it's not only important to see an increase in sales, but see an increase in patient treatments over that course of the year. Just because you're doing better in sales, it doesn't always mean you're doing an increase in patient treatment. And he said he always wants to see about an 8 to 10% increase in patient treatment over that calendar year, which will show him that he's doing his job as the owner of the clinic and that his marketing tactics are working, so they're targeting and reaching more people throughout southeastern Idaho. And these are just strategies to ensure financial health, because as you guys know, as a PT clinic, if you're not reaching your target market, if you're not reaching the people that are looking to get some physical therapy, then you're not growing as a clinic. Next, we're going to look at marketing and expansion. As I stated earlier, Corey opened both these clinics in Pocatello and in Chubbuck back in 2013. Now, it's been over a decade since he opened them, and he's looking to do some expanding to see if he can further extend his empire across southeastern Idaho. So we looked at current marketing strategies for growth and saw what's working and saw what's not working, so we can fine-tune those marketing strategies so that they can continue to reach out into other cities that PTSI isn't located in, which would be in your Blackfoot, Idaho Falls, Rigby, Rexburg, moving up north. Next, we looked at plans for opening a third clinic. He told me that they're currently in the works for that. They just still need to iron some few things out, but it's definitely something that's along the way and thriving. Finally, we looked at emphasis on community awareness and need, and we just looked at what the community needs and how can we best address them. Next, we have commitment to continuous improvement. Ongoing staff training and certifications is something I emphasized earlier to help the staff continue to improve, as well as adapting to new technologies and treatments, as well as focusing on patient outcomes and satisfaction. Your main goal is not only for the patient to come away feeling healthy, but to come away feeling satisfied. A future outlook, potential challenges and expansion. We looked at some of those potential challenges, mainly just making sure that everybody knows about PTSI and he's able to keep the current flow of customers into that clinic, so that way it can stay afloat and still be firing at that effective level. Next, we look at maintaining quality during growth. That's what I just talked about, as well as long-term visions for PTSI's role in the community, which would just be expanding up a little bit past Blackfoot, Idaho Falls area. And in conclusion, PTSI, they had many strengths in the differentiation. As I stated before, in 2013, when they first opened up, they've been on an ongoing upward trend over that past decade, as well as their commitment to community health and quality care has been top tier, and they're supporting local healthcare initiatives along the way. Thank you for listening.